Hello again, BC. This time I'm gonna show you my 7-inch of solo Beatles from Israel, and some of the records are very rare. And I'll start with the first one, which is the rarest 7-inch by John Lennon and Yoko Ono, called Turkey. This is cartoon sleeve, cartoon cover, called Turkey, and Don't Worry Kyoko for Yoko Ono. Very rare to find. This condition is almost impossible today. The vinyl and the label state play loud. You should play loud, this record. This is the slide side. Okay, another Apple records for John Lennon and Yoko Ono is Instant Karma. Israeli made. Again, there's play loud, I think, on the label. Yep. Same play loud, and the slice one aside. For the next single, I think the contract for Apple was ended at the time, and it was made in Israel by Parlophone Silver 45, Israeli made. This time it's of course Power to the People, John Lennon and Yoko Ono, Open Your Box. Now it's written here on Hebrew, the top hit, Power to the People, by John Lennon and the Onoplastin Band. This is the Hebrew inscription here. Next is the final single for John Lennon in Israel. It's Happy Christmas, War is Over. The backside, listen, the snow is falling, Yoko Ono and the Plastic Ono Band. And it's written here, John Lennon and Yoko Ono in Hebrew, with the Ono Plastic Orchestra band. It says it's orchestra, with the hits, plural. Happy Christmas, War is Over. Maybe they thought that there is 2 songs here by John Lennon. This is the final Israeli for John Lennon. Okay, next to Paul McCartney. This time it's starting with the EMI Parlophone for Paul and Linda McCartney with Another Day. Oh Woman, Oh Why, the back side. It says here, here is the label. It says here, the top hit, Another Day by Paul McCartney. Yep. A rare record for Paul McCartney in Israel is Give Ireland Back to the Irish. What a nice find for me to find here. It says here Wings, not Paul McCartney. And on the in the Israeli, in the Hebrew inscription here, the protest song that was banned in England, Give Ireland Back to the Irish, by the band Wings, Paul and Linda McCartney. That's what it says here. The backside is the same as the front side, so put the record the back. The same for Mary as a Little Lamp. Another great find for me in this condition. White cover. Right. Top hits. Mary Had a Little Lamp by the band Wings, Paul and McCartney. Little Women Love. This is the backside, Little Women Love. This is Mary Had a Little Lamp. What a contradiction after Give Ireland Back to the Irish. great two songs here for Paul McCartney and Wings. Hi, 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 and Simon. 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 Is she? Okay. Hi, hi, hi. Okay. Next one is another rare find. Not easy to find. My Love. Backside the Mess. Here is My Love. One of the brilliant and beautiful song by Paul McCartney. Ballad, a love ballad. Paul McCartney and Wings with a new and hot hit, My Love, here in Hebrew. Yeah. Okay, next for Paul McCartney is the James Bond theme, Live and Let Die. Paul McCartney and Wings with the hit, Live and Let Die. Wings. And of course the second side, I Lie Around. The same parlophone, silver and black parlophone for this record. One of the rarest, maybe the rarest single by Paul McCartney in Israel is Alan Wells. Paul McCartney and Wings, Alan Wells. Hard to find, almost impossible today, Alan Wells. Okay. You know that in the mid-70s, mid and late 70s, the record companies in Israel decided to stop manufacturing 7-inch. But there were some exceptions, and one of them was two Paul McCartney singles. And what an exception it was, because for the first single, I think from 1978, 78 it was, or 76, 78, they made the Wings were made the grand and great global success for Man of Kintyre, the Scottish song. And in Israel they decided to manufacture 7-inch, which was quite exceptional. But not just to manufacture an ordinary 7-inch, but to manufacture it or to press it in colors like the rainbow. Because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Man of Kintyre, Israeli made. First one is the ordinary black one, but others were the light blue. Okay, this time on Capitol, the American label, of course, Israeli press, and the dark blue. This is the dark blue. If you see, it's blue. Later there's the yellow for Man of Kintyre. What next? The orange, transparent orange, and the last one is the red vinyl for this Capitol Wings Man of Kintyre. The last 7-inch that was released in Israel was Paul McCartney, Michael Jackson song, The Girl Is Mine, and again on the color vinyl, on colors, on several colors, but not so many colors. Orange, not transparent this time. Oh, this is the front cover on Epic, And next one was the yellow. Oh, this time it's transparent yellow. And the last one was a mixed, I think, some kind of yellow with black spots. The third and the last record for Paul McCartney in Israel, 7-inch. Well, we continue and move on to George Harrison and to his mega hit, My Sweet Lord. It says in Hebrew, George Harrison with his hits, My Sweet Lord and What Is Life. And this is in Hebrew a sticker, #1 in the hit parade. Again on the parlophone, black silver parlophone. Give Peace on Earth for George Harrison and Miss Odell. The hit Give Peace, Give Me Love, of course, Give Me Love. The hit Give Me Love by George Harrison, Give Peace on Earth is of course the second sentence of the song for Georgie, Porgy. Bangladesh. The protest hits Bangladesh by George Harrison, written here in Hebrew. Bangladesh. Not so, no, it was for the hunger in Bangladesh, the show, of course, in Madison Square Garden. This was the last George Harrison 7-inch. Not so many were produced and pressed in Israel. Of course, finally, I will show you the Ringo Starr. Only again 3 7-inch for Ringo. It don't come easy. It says it the Beatles Ringo Starr with the hit. It don't come easy. Because remember, this was just after the breakup of the Beatles, early 1970 here. And this was, of course, the vinyl with the label, same parlophone EMI. Back of Boogaloo, Ringo Starr and Blind Man. In Hebrew it says here 2 hits, Back of Boogaloo and the theme song from the movie Blind Man by Ringo Starr. Today it's quite rare it's quite hard to find this single. And my last single for the Beatles solo, Israeli 7-inch, is Photograph. This time it's written here in Hebrew, bold, Ringo Starr Photograph, and Down and Out here. And the final. That's it for this video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.